You like MMOs? What about Sword Art Online's? So let's talk about it. Set on the floating island of Vasta Island, once a magic workshop, now in the ruins and exploited to run AI experiments. Hey yo, sounds like future. Take on the battles to push the enemy of the army of the Las, lethal autonomous weapon systems that are roaming around, and help Stella, the humanoid AI, left in charge of the Altair to maintain peace. Move from map to map while exploring the enjoying feeling of transcendent sword fighting. Take advantage of your surroundings by climbing and gliding to easily take on enemies. Experience a wide range of attacks only possible in the VR world, like shockwaves and surge mode. A simplified and intuitive UI was developed to increase the sense of VR and not interrupt the game flow. The tablet will be your main hub to change equipment, check your statuses, and more. And with all that packaged in, you can actually team up with other players from around the world and take on the enemies together. Now, with all the facts about the game out of the way, let's get into the real reason why you click this review, to hear my thoughts, impressions, and review. So, Altair Breaker aims to be like Sword Art Online to a point. However, it suffers due to the potentially resource issues. It's almost like the developer or the publisher invested just enough money into the game for a semi-decent experience, and then they just added a grind loop so gamers can sink the time into. It starts you off as a basic tutorial, and to no surprises, it's actually fairly easy to get around, and the controls actually do feel pretty good. There is some settings that you can tweak to get what you really want out of the game, like getting rid of the vigilante, but me personally, I couldn't get it to have the smoothest turning that I love to have in my VR games. The game is a bit rough, just as it looks. The graphics look ported straight from the Quest version and maybe upscaled a little bit for PSVR2's resolution, but because I couldn't really see any jaggies and it was super clear, just still giving that Quest looking feel. The combat in the game is basically super basic. Sometimes the camera locks on you and you can't really move around as freely, and once you do your combos and learn how to charge up your special attacks, it's barely really ever changing from there, unless you want to dual wield with two sabers, or have one hand one shield, or the two-handed one swords. Either way, once you go through those combos of each different weapon, it's pretty much it for the game, and the whole game can be seen and experienced in about 45 minutes. Now, that's not how long the game is. I'm just saying, from the combat and from the variety of enemies you can put, and the stats and the increasing in item box that we're going to talk about later, you can literally see everything this game has to offer in about 45 minutes. The mobs are basically the same, they're just recolored to have better AI. The bosses are various in the game, they just have a little bit harder to kill, and it's more reskins with some more movesets sprinkled in. There's axes, swords, parody weapons like the 1 million fish weapon that cost 1 million gold. That will take some time to grind. Like I said, there's just a big grind gold sink in here. There's a leveling system, stat boost system, trading system for the mana points, which gives you mats to buy whatever and level up any weapons that you got, an item box to hold your valuables, a leaderboard system that shows all the different players in the top 10 or 20. And it gives you, and it rewards the players for basically hitting these milestones and basically playing the game. There's online co-op, up to 3 players, but honestly, it could be very, like, I played for hours on end and hours on end before I even found one person, and it probably took me about 5 to 6 hours, and I met like 2 different people which I was actually able to play with, which was cool because it was better than not playing with anyone, and it did enhance the game a tiny smeckle bit, and it made it more fun than it was. But due to the nature of the repetition of this game that it provides, it's pretty questionable, and the features like having to go through a dedicated computer and launch a menu to change your loadout instead of just being able to change your loadout anytime from the inventory was kind of ass. Getting used to the flying mechanics was kind of weird and ass, but once I got it, it was fine. There's some cheap DLC to enhance your game, which is kind of like a red flag. That's some assness. Like, you could buy these DLC weapons and be good and get a nice head start, but they do offer a free starter pack that's actually pretty good. You get a good lightsaber out of that, and that's pretty much, really, that's all that I can say about the game. There's not an MMO. You're not getting a full-fledged MMO here. You're basically getting a MMO light, or it was like a beta of an MMO that was canceled and they took what they could and made a mini game out of it and shipped it off. Now, I did have fun while playing the game, and I do have plans to keep continuing to play the game because I want to get the sweet platinum trophy. Plus, I want to get that 1 million fish weapon for the lulz, and that's pretty much all I got to say about the game. Like I said, the overall take is you could experience everything in this game for like 45 minutes, so you can take the information that I gave you as well. I have my gameplays on my channel under the live section, and so we're gonna keep it moving, and we here at NGI give Altair Breaker on the PSVR2 a 6 out of 10. Make sure you stay up to date with all the latest in gaming tech news and reviews. Smash that like, and as always, subscribe. God bless and peace.
Ooh. What? How do we die that quick? What the hell?